Welcome back to Behind the Book, unpacking Black financial culture, building wealth from the inside out. And I'm your host, Michael Thomas. Today, I wanted to talk about chapter 5, and it's such an incredibly important chapter in the book because it speaks to this notion of generosity and the power of generosity. What's fascinating to me is that oftentimes we feel as if I go and I buy this thing or I do this thing, it's a form of self-care. In many instances, it can be, but that self-care can oftentimes be incredibly fleeting and doesn't bring us the lasting joy that we're hoping for it to. In the research, though, there is a considerable amount that speaks to the lasting impact of generosity and how it releases various neurochemicals in our brain, such as dopamine, so our reward center, our pleasure center, serotonin, meaning that it can not reduce, it can calm our mood or create this calming effect in our lives. And then also oxytocin, which is the warmth and connection that we get out of doing something that's meaningful and beneficial, and we have camaraderie and we feel as if we're in community with other people. So what's fascinating is that giving can calm us. Giving can produce a psychological and emotional reward, and giving can allow us to feel connected to community. So, one of the things that I wanted to read from the book really quickly here, just a really quick excerpt, I think that kind of speaks to this. There is a familiar saying in our periodically downtrodden society: hurt people, hurt people. Now, replace hurt with the notion of service. Served people, serve people. There are so many ways to tap into the power of giving, whether it's serving an organization in a community or helping someone in need. There are several studies that show how serving others can boost our mood and improve our health and outlook on life. The same way hurt people, giving begets more giving. Creating the space to generously serve others is a part of any introspective wealth creation strategy. Here's the secret sauce. Muster enough courage to find opportunities to serve alongside people who don't always think or look like you. Just as diversification is important to investing, we must also diversify our social connections. Diversity shouldn't be about tokenism or the status quo. It should uplift our differences while having appreciation for our similarities. Isolation can cultivate self-doubt or skepticism in people. Working alongside others can give you clarity of purpose and joy, and a sense of value and confidence that goes beyond anything that money can buy. And so what's incredibly powerful about generosity is this notion that it does beget more giving, sometimes directly and sometimes indirectly. What many people don't know, that you can have a selfish ulterior motive in terms of being generous. So for instance, if you go serve at your local YMCA or some organization, generally speaking, what you're going to find is that the board members are probably going to be there serving as well. Board members on these that serve on a board to these organizations oftentimes are key stakeholders in a community. These are individuals who have very diverse and vast social networks. And in a simple act of a road cleanup activity or building a home for Habitat for Humanity or whatever it may be, oftentimes you're going to be serving alongside other individuals who are going to be in fairly prominent positions of power that with a just basically with a word could introduce you to someone or to put you in a position for employment or other types of um, gain that could benefit you just by simply serving someone else. In the book, I talk about there was this instance where there was this young lady who was a server at a restaurant. And at that point in time, my boss, he and his family, they were so impressed by her that and she had shared with them that she wanted to be a nurse. And because of his position in terms of being VP at our institution at the time, he made it so that he wanted to curate this entire experience for her to come to our campus and to do all these things and to see what we can do in our nursing department just because of how she served him and his family. And she had no idea who he was um, and potentially what he could do for her. And I don't think that she was serving because she was expecting. I think that she was serving simply because it brought her joy. And that's the beautiful thing about service in our work, in serving our community, so on and so forth, is that the very nature of it, the neurochemicals that we talked about earlier that are produced, they actually produce a sense of joy and well-being. Anything that happens after that is simply the icing on the cake, right? So it literally is a win-win across the board as it relates to being generous, whether it's expanding your social capital and your networks, whether it's those things lead to another opportunity, or whether just like when it's all said and done, it just feels good to serve other people. And in fact, I believe that we're wired that way. So, chapter five kind of gets to this notion and this point of why service is an invaluable part of well-being, generally speaking, but it should also be a part of your wealth creation strategy. Because at the end of the day, doors open not because of who you know, but because of who knows you. And the best way to be known is through service. So I hope that you found today's short video, I think that was reasonably short, helpful as you're navigating your own wellness journey. And as always, you have more power than you think. I'll see y'all next time. Stay blessed. Bye.